Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're doing another back issue Bonanza. What does that mean? We're doing a bunch of comics that I ordered online that are going into my back issue collection. So they just showed up today. I kind of forgot what I ordered because I'm a crazy person and I order way too many comic books. So all I know is this one on the top. And what a great comic. We got Werewolf by Night. This is number 3. Says very fine. I forget the price I paid, but I'm a lunatic. I don't pay attention to that. I collected Werewolf by Night, but it was one of those comics that was hard to find in my area. So I got them. I got the from 18 up, but not in order. So now I'm collecting the early ones. And thanks to all of the comic book speculators, the first appearance of Moon Knight is way expensive, so I don't know if I'll be able to get that. So I'm kind of ticked off about that by people who don't even care about comic books. And then they're going to put it in a plastic slab and never read it, never enjoy it. It's just a commodity. I can't stand that way of thinking. It ruins the enjoyment of the hobby. Because I'm going to open this up. I'm going to show you guys this. We're going to look through this together, and you can't do that with a slab. I just hate that so much. All right. I guess I'm a lunatic. And Weird War Tales. I forget exactly who it was, but I blame this channel because somebody requested Weird War Tales. So I bought issue number 1, and now I'm collecting the comics. So now I'm up to 3. They're a little bit pricey, so it's not like I'm buying them every week, but I'll order one a month or whatever, just so I'll collect it over time. I went through my collection the other day, and I didn't realize, but I do have some back issues, but later back issues, not earlier back issues. So and I'm really enjoying these. These are some good stuff. Okay, like I said a couple of videos ago that as a kid you couldn't get me to touch sword and sorcery comics. As much as I was into Dungeons and Dragons, which is basically playing swords and sorceries, but I don't know what it was. I was very compartmentalized. I can never say that word. Believe it or not, I was on a football team in junior high school and high school. And this is going to sound mean, and yeah, there's no other way to say it, but I kept my football friends away from my comic book and Dungeons and Dragons friends. So I kept my cool Sporto friends away from my comic book friends because I thought I was going to get teased, and make no mistake, one of my pet peeves, this is going off on a little rant right now, but I don't care. Back in the 80s, when I was really, playing Dungeons and Dragons and comic books and everything, back then, the Stranger Things ancient times ago, comic book kids, nerds, Dungeons and Dragons kids, they wanted girls to play. They wanted black people to play. They wanted Chinese people to play. They wanted people to play. They didn't give a crap who you were. They didn't give a crap what your genitals were. They didn't give a crap what you did with your genitals. We just wanted other people to play because it was like a desert. When you found other kids that were into comic books and Dungeons and Dragons, it was like you found the fountain of youth. It was so exciting. You're like, really? You play? Oh wow! And it became like a sneaky thing. You went around and you're like, oh, well, okay, guys, how about we set up a game over at Carl's house? Oh no, we can't do it. Let's go to Trevor's house. Because we knew we were going to get teased by the cool guys. Now I was a big kid when I was young. I sprouted early, and then I didn't grow up anymore. My brother is gigantic, so I just assumed that I was going to become gigantic. But I never got to be gigantic. I got to be medium-sized, except for my belly. But then, so I played football. I made all the football friends. I was with the cool people. And then, it's really mean, and I feel bad. It's like one of those things I close my eyes and I cringe about it. But, I would ignore my comic book friends when my football friends were around, and so on and so on. Somewhere around high school, I'll say junior year of high school, I started to realize that was jerky, and people didn't care. How funny was that? I was more nervous about getting teased, but I guess I made my reputation as a cool guy, so whatever. But my comic book friends, we started mixing the pot, and then the funny thing happened is my sport friends came over to my house one day, and I was laying in bed, and I'll never forget, I had a stack of Daredevil comic books just laying on my end table, and they were like, "Oh my God, I love Daredevil!" Blah, blah. And I realized it was all for naught. This little compartmentalized. Nowadays, we look back at it, and the cool kids are the cool kids. The nerd kids are the cool kids. But back then, no group was more accepting than the nerdy kids. it was like finding water in the desert. Oh my God, you play Dungeons and Dragons? Oh my God, you know, we didn't care. We didn't care. Guys played girl characters, girls played guy characters. You know, we didn't care. We just were so happy to find somebody else to play with. End of rant. Okay, so now I find it funny that I'm collecting Conan comics when I wouldn't touch Conan comics with the 10-foot pole as a kid. Conan was a sword sorcery thing. Sword sorcery was regulated to the Dungeons and Dragons box. I was weird. And now I found a copy of one at a decent price, so I snatched it up. And then I was like, I know me. Once I read number 1, I'm going to have to get number 2. And once I read number 2, I'm going to have to get number 3. So I put it on my spinner rack, and I kind of just put it in a spot to remind me to read this, that I was collecting Conan. But as long as I didn't read it, I wasn't pressured to buy number 2, because that's the way I am. I have to read number 1 before I could read number 2. I have to read number 2 before I could buy number 3. I have to read number 3 before... It's just a natural way to limit what I buy. Otherwise, I would just spend way too much money every month. I'm a lunatic. What do you want me to say? So, one of the guys on this channel requested that I showcase Conan number 1. So I was like, all right, you know, I keep asking for, and I have it, so I did. Didn't particularly like number 1, but I liked 2 going on. Number 1, I don't know, you know, they didn't know what they were doing. They would find the story, but it is excellent. I'm really, now I see what the hype was with all of these Conan, these early Barry Windsor Smiths. Oh, they're so good. The art is really inspiring. So here I am. This is number 6. When I read this, I will then buy number 7. So let's go on to the next comic. Danger Trail number 1. I don't know what this was. I saw an ad for it while I was showcasing a comic, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's by Ledween, Carmine Infantino, and McLaughlin. This cover art is by Paul Galassi. I always recognize Paul Galassi's the eyes that he does. His women have, you're gonna laugh at me, but they have a particular boob shape, and when they look into you, they look a certain way. He draws like almost the same viewpoint over and over again in the same eyes. So I recognize Paul Galassi. So I don't know. This may be good. This may be bad, but I don't know. It's kind of a little bait and switch, because I looked at this cover, I said Paul Galassi, and now that because I decided I want it, so I didn't read anything up on it. I'm happy to see that it's written by Ledween, but I'm a little upset to see that it's written by Carmine Infantino. I know it's mean. He's a legend, but I wanted Paul Galassi. So there you go. Here's number 2. Again, the old bait and switch, because that's Paul Galassi on the cover, and I'm going to get Carmine Infantino inside. See what I mean by, like, he has, like, the same boob shape, and the women always seem to be looking in the same direction. And then here is Cinder and Ash, okay? A 4-issue by Jerry Conway and Jose Garcia Lopez. I mean, just 2 awesome guys. And who's this? Oh, Garcia Lopez. This doesn't look like the typical Garcia Lopez artwork that I love so much. But you know what? He's got to start somewhere. Or here's Danger Trail number 3. So these, I know why I avoided these, because these weren't superhero comic books. At this time, I wanted superhero comic books. I love this cover. I remember seeing this cover advertised a million times. I just never got it because it wasn't superheroes. My comic books were for superheroes. Comic books weren't for sword and sorcery. Comic books weren't for science fiction. You know, I was weird that way. Comic books was for superheroes. Now I'm an adult. Things change. All right, I'm just gonna clear these off because the lip of the this easel isn't that thick. Here's more Cinder and Ash. Okay, this looks like a Vietnam comic. Suggested for mature readers. As I'm looking at the covers, I'm starting to realize that's pretty explicit for a cover. Pretty good title too. Cinder and Ash. Look at that. Book 3. Okay, and that's all I got this particular time around. So that's my back issue Bonanza for the day. Any requests for new videos? Because I'm kind of stammering now. I'm gonna do. This is today's video. Tomorrow I'll do the Who's Who, the next issue of the Who's Who. I kind of use the Who's Who as a filler when I'm having trouble finding a comic book to showcase. I'll grab the Who's Who. So every couple of days, you know, I'll showcase that, because I know that'll last me, geez, a couple more weeks, because that was a pretty long series. It's longer than the Marvel one. Marvel was only, what, 15 issues? I think the DC Who's Who goes up to like 25 or something like that. So that's pretty cool. All right. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for those of you who participated in my live chat. I'm thinking about maybe doing another one. It was kind of fun. Please request videos. I'm loving the comments, you guys. There was something else I wanted to bring up, but my crazy brain is forgetting things. But anyway, I got some exciting news. It's the same exciting news that I hinted at during the live chat. I will have more information about the exciting news tomorrow. Okay, I'm trying to keep you in suspense. Okay, how do you keep I was going to be insulting, but I was going to say, how do you keep dumb people in suspense and then just shut off the camera? But I don't want to start insulting my audience, especially over a not too funny dad joke. I love dad jokes, but not at the expense of my viewers who have been so nice. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow with another video, and please request some showcases. Of course, if I have them, I will show them off. If I don't have them, and as you can see here, I've been buying these comics much to my wallet's chagrin. All right, I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.